flood, fire, earthquake, car or plane crashes, building collapse, and even armed robbery, each bringing assets and revenue loss, human mortality, and in 90% of survivors, great loss of hope. Flooding is the most common of all environment hazards, and it regularly claims over 20,000 lives per year and adversely affects about 75 million people worldwide. Nigeria has had its fair share.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time? And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows, only time? We are
Emergencies, as the name implies, are not set out to happen, but they can be planned or budgeted for. Disaster management may not avert emergency threats, but it will decrease the impact of disaster where well handled. It then brings to the fore the key phases to management of disaster: mitigation, response, recovery, preparedness, and prevention. Every citizen must be well acquainted with all of them. Wishing disaster away does not avert it. Rather, as put in the local parlance, a man
This is the network service of the NTA.
In the past 1 week, Nigeria's greatest sports ambassadors, the Super Eagles, have lit up the image of Nigeria by firmly putting the country on the road to the 2019 African Cup of Nations in the Cameroon. Over 2 legs within the space of 1 week, they defeated Libya with a whopping aggregate scoreline of 7-2. Congratulations, great Super Eagles. The World Youth Olympics in Argentina ended today. Just as the curtain started to fall on the games, Nigerian youths started to shine like a million stars. On today's show, we shall be looking at both issues and more. I am Segun Odegbami, Speaker of the Sports Parliament, coming to you live from Lagos and Abuja studios of Africa's largest television network, NTA. Sitting in Parliament with me tonight are, to my right, Agu Imo.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker. Good evening, Nigerians. It's an honor to be here.
To my left is that Yeye man, Onome Obrute.
Glad to be here, Mr. Speaker. We're going to have a great time, Africa. Thank you for joining us.
And in our Abuja studios, as usual, our veteran now, he's a veteran, Abdulraham Ibn Mohammed. Glad to have you back.
Mr. Speaker, my fellow parliamentarians, it's good to be here again.
You are looking very well, I must say. Well, join us when we come back.
Time to explore. Looks like a fun way to learn. Awesome! coach. We are music. And I can learn to play an instrument too? Cool! Games everywhere! Wow! Freebies! Free data, WhatsApp, and birthday credits? I love it here. I'm never leaving.
Play, explore, and learn with MTN Impulse.
Welcome back. Well, let me confess that today's topic, one in particular, is one that I find very uncomfortable to handle, because through the years we have made lots and lots of enemies because of the positions that we have taken on the matter. The idea of the Youth Olympics is a fantastic one, I must say, fantastic one, because some of us thought it provides us with an opportunity to right the wrongs, in our sports in terms of grassroots sports development. However, I must commend our young people who went to the 4th Youth Olympics that just ended today in Buenos Aires, and I think we have clips from there. Let us celebrate them first before we come and discuss this very rather uncomfortable issue.
In the men's triple jump, Jordan Alejandro Diaz Fortune of Cuba, the only athlete who jumped more than 17 meters in stage 1. This was his first effort in stage 2. Once again, he went beyond 17 meters. That was 17 meters and 4 centimeters and proved to be his best jump of the competition, earning him the gold medal. The other main contender for a medal was Ine Emmanuel Oritsimiyewa of Nigeria, and this was his second effort. Oritsimiyewa had been in second place after the first stage. That was 15 meters 51, his best effort of this stage, and enough to keep him in second place overall. The bronze medal was won by Praveen Chitraval of India. The silver medal was won by Ine Emmanuel Oritsimiyewa of Nigeria. And the gold medal was won by Jordan Alejandro Diaz Fortune.
Welcome back. Well, that was recollection of what just happened as the curtains were falling on the games. Nigerian athletes were shining, and this evening I went through certain sports platforms on the internet, and the conversations were really not very tasteful, to say the least. We are not going to mention names on today's show. No mentioning of names of any of those athletes. They are great Nigerian athletes, great ambassadors. But one issue that keeps cropping up in our sport is that of authenticity. Parliamentarians will be looking at that issue today, authenticity. We have 1 gold medalist and 2 silver medalists from the games, okay? The silver medalist, one of the silver medalists, is a student of FUTA in Akure. All the newspapers today carried stories about how the university celebrated their student who went to the Youth Olympics and won a silver medal. Just to let you know that the Youth Olympics are for students between the ages of 14 and 18. Not students, but young people, for youths between the ages of 14 and 18. And people are saying that this student from FUTA that is being so widely celebrated is in 400 level in the university. 400 level. And some people can swear that he is not 17 or under 18. So, parliamentarians, over to you. Probably you two are uncomfortable. Maybe we should start from Abuja, just to have his perspective and views. Abdulraham Ibn Mohammed. Okay, he's not ready yet. Okay, fine. Okay, over to you.
Mr. Speaker, Africa, Nigeria, it's disheartening. A 400 level student, agricultural engineering. We know how difficult that course is to study. Has gone to run. And what beats me is the fact that he didn't even win the gold. And his vice chancellor has so publicly, widely celebrated his feat. First and foremost, Mr. Speaker, we are in Parliament. I will respect the rules of this Parliament. If not, I've just spoken so vehemently against the fact that justice is not being done. It is saddening, it is sickening, it is irritating, it is annoying to note that we have such a thing ongoing in our sports. Who has allowed this thing to occur? Who has permitted such a thing to befall?
No, but has anything happened?
Yes, sir.
Do you have evidence?
Yes, there's
Even
evidence.
if you do, I don't think you should present evidence here. Let's just discuss around
Okay,
it.
that's what I'm going to. It is wrong. Okay, let me give an example. Nigeria played Equatorial Guinea in the finals of a certain female championship, and there was widespread, unconfirmed to date rumor that the lady who played the top 9 for Equatorial Guinea was a man.
I felt so too.
Exactly.
I felt so too.
After the games, what happened? Even up till yesterday, Equatorial Guinea again has been disqualified for such things. Sir, the truth is, when we say we're doing something, even if we come last, let us build our future in these competitions. It is called a youth games. You have said it in your intro. Between the ages of 14 to 18, there is no student that can be in 400 levels. Reading agricultural engineering in a school like Federal University of Technology, Akure, that will be between the ages of 14 and 18. Like you've said, I don't have evidence, but let's just use our church minds in this case. It is not something I am happy about. It is not something I am proud about. I personally think his family should step in and save face regarding this issue. He has gone to Argentina. He has made himself proud, not me. He represented my great country, Nigeria. I am not happy about this, Mr. Speaker. I'll rest for now in this case, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Before you say anything, all the athletes that went to Argentina were harvested from the National Youth Games here in Nigeria. So they passed the screening test for eligibility. Agu.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I hesitated before I started to speak. We tried for our brother to speak from Abuja, but he didn't, and Onome started. I still am, we're national TV, and this is Nigeria, and it's sad because the purpose of sports is being defeated. Sport is supposed to build character, supposed to build the Olympic spirit. We don't have to win. What is more important is to participate. We are not helping ourselves. We are not going forward. And we're dealing with youth. And if the youth cannot be encouraged to be forthright, then the future we are building upon is shaky. I think it is unfortunate that we have gone to the youth games for children between the ages of 14 and 18, games designed to prepare these youths for the future with adults. I think it is unfortunate, and we need to call ourselves to order before, even if there's no way of proving it. I mean, we need to be able to tell ourselves the truth. Sport is just a part of our national build. Unless we are building a society where truth is not going to come in at all, and that would be unfortunate. So, I don't think there's anything to celebrate about this. Are these people going to proceed to win Olympic gold medals? It's not likely. So, what have we achieved? Nothing.
Well, it is not impossible that they go on to win. It is not that they are not young. It's not as if they are old men. But I just think if they are not the ages they claim to be, then definitely that's cheating. There's no other name for it, if they are not. Over to you, Abdulraham, Ibn Mohammed. What are your thoughts on this issue?
Mr. Speaker, I align my thoughts with my two colleagues there. I was trying to create the scenario of, on the average, in Nigeria, children go to school, primary school, from the ages of, say, 5, 6. If we take the old primary, secondary school transition, by the time one is 13, 14, 15, one would have been through with primary school. By the time one probably gets, you add 13 plus 5, that would be 18, 17, 18. Some brilliant minds could be out of secondary school by 16. Not to talk of going to the university and, being in 400 level. That on the average could be, that guy could on the average have been nothing less than 20. But the salient point that is being taken out of this is that we don't seem to be looking at youth competitions, cadet competitions, from the point of view of development. We tend to look at it from the point of view of winning. We've won so many World Cups at under 17 football level, and we have seen truly how many of those have transited successfully. If you compare the likes of Tony Cruz, they were here when Nigeria hosted a cadet championship. How many of our own players in our own team have made that successful transition? We all know what De Gea is, who he is. We all know what Tony Cruz is, who he is. So we should disabuse our minds. I've had the speaker say all of those who went to this Youth Olympics to represent us in Argentina, passed through the crucible of Nigerian youth games. What are the standards that we have set for ourselves, in all honesty, to be sure that it is only the youths? We've got to tell ourselves the truth and nothing but the truth. We may not be able to win anything now, but if we are truthful to ourselves and pick the right people, in the next couple of years, we will be there. 2 years ago, Nigeria dominated the sprint at the, no, not 2 years, maybe 3 years ago, Nigeria dominated the sprint at the African Youth Athletics Championship hosted in Addis Ababa, I think, Ethiopia. We won the 100 meters for men and women. Those winners are nowhere to be found today. One would have expected them to be at the, on the verge of being superstars in Nigeria. But today we are struggling to replicate our sprinters and other runners. So it's heartwarming. It massages the image of our sports administrators and coaches and massages the image of the country. But frankly, this is not the best.
I said it at the start that this is a very uncomfortable subject for me, but we still have to deal with it.
Yes.
But is this not a reflection of who we really are? If through the years we have failed to arrest this very ugly situation, I know that sports cannot be insulated from the rest of the polity, but what do we do?
For me, there's a simple antidote to all this. Every time sicknesses come up in the world, scientists, doctors, medical practitioners go into their labs to prepare what we call repellents or antidotes for such things. I, for one, do not believe that these athletes that went to Argentina went to Ilorin for the youth games. I don't agree. I wasn't in Ilorin. I cannot put my hand to be caught to say that these athletes were in Ilorin or the youth games, wherever it was hosted before Ilorin. I cannot say for sure. However, sir, I think those in charge of these noble ideas should go back to the basics. We have people like the legendary Enefiok, Esa, Dari, that have athletics clubs, that have upcoming talents, young talents, that they are being trained. I think we need to go back to the basics. I don't want to start preaching about academies, but the truth is we know that those that have made the name Nigeria global came from academies, be it in athletics, be it in soccer. Look at Mary Onyali. How old was she when she started running? Where did she start from? Mary is 50 now. Check back. She started competing actively for this country in the late 80s. So you can see clearly that her age tallies with the achievements she's had. And those are the people. Look at Chidi Imo, Innocent Egbunike, the Ezenwan brothers. These are people we can go back and see how they started. There's a history showing where these people are from.
They started in school.
Exactly, sir. And therefore, it shows clearly that they did this thing for years, thereby putting the name of Nigeria up there in the world of sports. In the last few years, which athlete can we pinpoint to say came out from this place, came out from that place, and they are here now? There's none. So for me, I think what people like Mary Onyali, Jide Fashikun, and the others are trying to do with the elite program for athletes, I think it is a noble idea that Nigerians should support. I think it's a noble idea that parliamentarians should support, Ministry of Sports should support, so that these talents and these athletes that they are grooming now, at least in the next 4 years, can get on the podium and go back to how they did it. They've done it before as athletes themselves. So we should support this kind of projects that emanate, not coming one day and seeing a young chap who, let me make this very, very irritating for all those watching in Africa, sir. On Saturday, after playing football, one of my young boys, who is actually 28, goes to meet a friend of mine, Daniel Moko, and says to him that he wants to change his age, that his passport was bearing 26. Now, Daniel Moko, being in one of these government agencies, says, but your fingerprint and all that is on this passport and you're 20. He said yes, because there's a tournament they want to go for now that he wants us to sponsor him, and that he wants the age to go to 21. He was talking to Daniel Moko. I had finished playing, and I was listening up. And when he finished speaking to Daniel Moko's last words to him was, "Oh God, this thing go hard when you want to do." And I said, "No, it not go hard, easy. Come." And he came, and I educated him. I said, "You will need close to about 150,000. Now, hear me clearly. You will need about 150,000 naira to bribe the people that are going to alter the system for you. In this 150,000, you don't have 5,000. Now, you want people like us to support. Now, that is the web of how insanity and corruption starts. Then you now come, they alter the system for you, they change your fingerprint, they change your image. You come from 28 to 26, now you're going to 21. You're approaching 30, but you are declining in age. Is that not insanity?" He was looking at me. I said, "If not for the fact that I like you, I would have jailed you today. I will lock you up."
But then, Mr. Speaker, Onome, yes, you're quite upset, and it's okay, but you're making the athlete the culprit here. The athlete is not the culprit. It's the system that created the athlete. You know, like Mr. Speaker said, let's not call names, but I'm going to call the name of Mr. Speaker. I think I recall that Mr. Speaker, Shegun Degbami, stopped playing football for Nigeria at the age of 26.
No. I stopped in 1984 now.
Yes.
Haba, don't ask me here.
There was something. not exactly. Wait.
Are you asking for my football age?
No. I'm not asking.
Are you asking
I'm
for
not
my
asking for your
age?
football age. No, what I'm saying is that from the time I know when you started, you showed up on the football scene. You know, you were a young man.
Yeah.
And that's
started from secondary school.
That's the point I'm making.
Secondary school
and
is
that
the
is
key.
the point I am
key.
making. I'm making the point that this thing is education. It is the Ministry of Education.
Absolutely.
It is sports. Sports cannot be divorced from education. It cannot be discussed from schools. Two things work together: the schools, okay, and the clubs. And all of us who were young in Lagos know that there was secondary school at Greer, Powell, and all of those things. And then every other week, there were competitions at the National Stadium where you had the different clubs taking part. Customs Club, Police Club, NPA Club, different kinds of clubs. There was a build-up, and that was why you could have Merionalis. That's why you could have Yusuf Ali's. That's why you could have a ready flow of athletes in different games coming forth. Now, what we do is that we are going for a competition, and they have manufactured people from nowhere, and they have just gone and won medals immediately. You know, and at the end of the day,
no history,
no history, nothing,
no storyline to tell, nothing,
no production line, nothing. If we want to do well in sport, if we want to do well, what we need to do is that in athletics, we need to find out from the people who are doing well. What countries are doing well in athletics? Go and find out what they are doing.
Small country like Jamaica.
What is Jamaica doing?
Learned from us.
Okay.
Jamaica learned from us.
What is Jamaica doing? What is Cuba doing? We can't just wake up in the morning. We can't have members of associations who are civil servants. We can't have any of this.
Just calm down. Calm down.
I'm just trying to repair the damage, you know that, because
just calm down. Calm down, because we are going on a break. But calm down. Let us go to Abuja very briefly. Very briefly. Just sum this all up for us. What do we do in 1 minute? Sum this all up for us, Abdulraham.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to disagree for just a moment with Agu. Civil servants that have it here should be able to be given the opportunity, because some of us can really deliver. But that aside, I agree with the entire submissions by Agu and Onome. We've missed the road. Going back to school, we cannot separate school from development in sports. But I also want to remind viewers that here on this program, on this parliament, some time ago, we did agree that we must go back to schools, provide schools with playgrounds and monitoring facilities, so that sports and education go hand in hand. But we also made allowances for the fact that it's not all gifted athletes that have the opportunity to go to school. So a window should be left open for those who are truly of age, but who may be, learning a trade here. They may not have had the opportunity to go to school, because our history shows that from that park, we are also able to discover people of real age who can give us value when they are properly trained.
Thank you, Abdulrahman. When we come back from the break, we shall be going straight to Lukman's corner, who is here. I don't know if the man wants to talk about age and all that in sports. But in my final words are that, look, let us be authentic. Let sports be at least different from the rest of the polity. Sports is the most unifying force in this country. It is one that, bridges all those divisions that we have. It is one that should prove or be a vanguard of decency, authenticity, credibility, and all that kind of TTTTs, Okay, when we come back from the break, Lukman.
Speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Manchester United
have not won at Stamford Bridge since Sir Alex Ferguson retired in 2013. This Saturday at lunchtime, Jose Mourinho returns to his old stomping ground in search of 3 points against high-flying Chelsea. Surprise league leaders in Spain, Sevilla, traveled to the Camp Nou in full confidence to face Barcelona, who have not won in 4 league matches. And in Italy, it's time for Derby della Madonnina between Inter and Milan. Welcome to European football in 300 seconds. Our focus matches are Strasbourg AS Monaco, Inter Milan AC Milan, VfB Stuttgart Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona Sevilla, Arsenal Leicester City, and Chelsea Manchester United. We begin in France. Strasbourg AS Monaco. Courageous Thierry Henry takes over at Monaco, who look completely a shadow of the team that finished runner-up last season, as they are currently sitting in the relegation playoff zone at the moment. Strasbourg, who are their host, had a difficult season last year, but have started very well this time around, and they are 9th on the table. They have lost once in their last 5 league games, but for Monaco, they can't even buy a win to save their lives at the moment. They haven't won in the league since the opening day of the season, and have been very poor on the road. Henry has an unenviable job at hand at Stade Louis II, but on his debut, I don't think he will win, so I'm going for Strasbourg to win at home, 2-1. To Italy, Inter Milan AC Milan. Derby della Madonnina is the most important fixture in the Serie A this weekend between these two Milan giants. Inter sit 3rd on the log with 16 points, while Milan are 10th with 12 points, even though they played a game less. These two teams have not had the ideal start to the season, but on current form, Inter Milan are on a 4 games winning run, while Milan haven't lost in their last 6 league matches. Both sides have fantastic strikers, with Inter Milan banking on their skipper and talisman, Mario Icardi, while for Milan is Gonzalo Higuain. These two Argentine strikers can win the games for their teams on their day, and what we can be guaranteed at the Giuseppe Meazza on Sunday evening is goals. My prediction is that both teams will score. To Germany, VfB Stuttgart Borussia Dortmund. Bottom club Stuttgart have the unkind task of welcoming league leaders Borussia Dortmund to the Mercedes-Benz Arena. New coach for Stuttgart, Markus Weinzel, has a poor record against Dortmund, having won 1 of his 10 meetings against Dortmund in the league. And with a host of injury absentees, his job just got much more difficult. Lucien Favre has turned Dortmund into a well-oiled machine, and they are coasting home with a lot of victories at the moment, scoring goals for fun and with ease. In Spanish international Paco Alcesa, they have a player in good form scoring for both club and country, and will be expected to lead the line on Saturday when they play at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. This has an away victory written all over it, and I'm going for a Dortmund win here, 3-1. To Spain, Barcelona Sevilla. The sun still rises in the east and sets in the west, but in Spain, it's Sevilla on top of the log in La Liga after 8 rounds of matches. Pablo Machin's men traveled to the Camp Nou in high spirit on a 4 games winning run, while for Ernesto Valverde's side, they are winless in their last 4 league games. The hosts have been struggling at the moment, and they have been finding it difficult to win. But when these two sides meet, we are always guaranteed goals, and I think that goals will be on the menu at the Camp Nou on Saturday evening. My prediction here is over 2.5 goals. To England, Arsenal Leicester City. Arsenal will be aiming to maintain their strong run at home against Leicester City and keep up their win rate in October. October has always been the Gunners' most fantastic month, having a win ratio of 63%. But for Leicester City, they lost their last game at home against Everton and be hoping to return to winning ways against Arsenal, which I think is easier said than done. For Arsenal, whenever they play against Leicester at home, they win, and they've won their last 11 games against Leicester at home. Jamie Vardy is the only good thing Leicester can look up to when they play Arsenal, as he has a good scoring record against them. But on the day, I think that the Gunners will be too strong, and I back them to win at home and make it 7 straight victories in the Premier League. 2-0 to Arsenal.
Let me quote him. Lukman said, and I quote, "Why would he invite only 4 midfielders?" And I said, Lukman, look at this team. It's an all-attack team. that because of the state of the pitch being very big, they will express themselves, that we will overrun Libya. I said it here. And I said when they go away, the Eagles tend to play better away, because I have gone with them away and I have seen how they performed. And those things came to pass. That is an aside. Lukman, you owe me something.
Apart from the 2 million.
Yes, so let's make it 2.5, as in over 2.5. Now, to the main thing. During the game on Forbes, Family United by Sports, Igalo was being hammered, especially by certain Onome Obrute. But after he scored that first goal, he became my cousin. Igalo's mother and my mother are first nieces. I never knew until my mom sent me a message.
Shut up and stop hammering.
Don't hammer your cousin on national. So Igalo is my niece, is my nephew, is actually my step cousin. Anyone you call Igalo, we are one.
Well, we're all related.
We are all one. Whether you like it or hate it, Igalo, we are one. Shaking every word, resourcing no. You know. So, Mr. Speaker, for me, nothing that they use Wahala do. Igalo, you have done well. You know, do well next time. You see anyhow as well. So I will end it for now. Then.
Ahmed Musa and Abdulrahman Imbu Mohammed are cousins as well.
Yes,
Abdulrahman,
yes, he told me. He sent me a tweet as well.
Over to you.
Yes, please, Mr. Speaker. Ahmed Musa, the fact that the young man was born and bred in the Bukuru area of Jos makes us very, very close cousins indeed. Same thing goes for Igalo. Since me and Onome are related, the relationship continues. But my take from that game is that, especially the Libya game, it left me with some cause for concern. The Libyans came back to take a 2-goal lead away from us, put us under severe pressure. Our bench, General Rowe and co, have not convinced me that they can read a match very, very well. Our midfield collapsed. Could it be that really we cannot do without Mikel? Our defense collapsed. Ola Aina appeared too tired, and the bench appeared not to know what to do until in the very dying minutes. But for the fact that Igalo, the cousin of my brother Onome, was really up in the mix, we may have thrown away some 2 very, very good points. So I think the technical committee of the NFF or whoever needs to, reawaken Gennard Rowe and his technical team. There were gaping holes that were seen in Libya, and I wonder whether the intensity that a South African team properly fired in an FMB full stadium to capacity, urged by their crowd, whether the intensity that they will put on us, whether we'll be able to bear it with this kind of performance. We need to tidy up. Very, very surely we have the talent. Iwobi and co can do it. But even Iwobi, at some point in time, he tried to be over-adventurous, wanted to get into the mix. That is natural for any good footballer to want to seize opportunities. But I think tactically and technically, we need to tidy up. We've got the men, no doubt about that.
If you are just joining us again, this is the Sports Parliament. My own thoughts are that a good team, a champion team is one that wins even when it doesn't play well. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we start to round off today's program.
It's an evil practice abolished all over the world over 200 years ago. But today, human traffickers are selling human beings as slaves in Africa. It is your responsibility to make sure that you and the people you know do not fall into slavery. Don't believe fake promises of jobs abroad.
People went to say Libya, Italy no use you when they carry me on top water. 4 days now they lock me for inside house, no food, no water. I nearly die. Now God, when me heaven and earth, now save me. If you get 1 naira for Nigeria, you get junior 1, you say you no get papa, you no get mama, that make you come out. I beg go they do farm work. You better pass person when enter road.
Don't accept to travel to Europe through the Sahara Desert. You may be walking into slavery. Don't be a slave.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Welcome back. Well, Nigeria has almost qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations now, and we should start to project. One thing that crosses my mind always is that, look, when we play in Africa, it's always different from when we play in Europe. Our team plays differently. We are going into the Nations Cup now. Start to help me look into the Nations Cup. What are our chances?
Well, I think we should do well. If, as we're discussing off air, and as Abdulraham brought up a very salient point, the South Africans will create chances. I don't know how they didn't beat Seychelles. I saw that game. They must have had about 10 or 11 clear, gilt-edged chances. It's just maybe God just wanted us to get ahead of them. So it's going to be tough at the FMB Stadium, but I feel that we can take them, beat them, or take them. And I still feel that Libya will qualify, in my opinion. Going forward, I think we can do it. If our coach steps it up a bit, is a bit more flexible, maybe listens to advice, maybe check out, they have to check out the flaws of the coach. He needs to get some things right. And I think that team has talent. I'm a bit concerned about the goalkeeping aspect of the team. Zohor doesn't really cut it for me, in my opinion, again. But there's talent in that team. There's pace. Samuel Kalu didn't have a good game, but he's pacey. He won't be pacey. You got Ahmed Busa leading from the front. Firing on all cylinders. Andre Gallo, Henry Onyekuru ready to come off the bench. I think there's a lot to look forward to, and I think, remember at the World Cup, we're only 5-6 minutes away from going to second round.
Absolutely. You will speak last, so let's come to you.
Okay, sir. For me, 3 quick things. 1, I also predicted South Africa and Seychelles were going to get a draw. And everybody, especially Sasso Bayiwana, was telling me that how. And I said, you will see the wagga wagga of football. This game is going to end in a draw. Because the pitch in Seychelles, like I said, is not a pitch where if you play tiki-taka, Barcelona will lose on that pitch. It's not a good pitch. That has happened, that on the side. Secondly, South Africa. This is not a bipartite struggle. This is Unkwa. Because they came to Uyo to win, we'll dismantle them. If they like, let them take the game to Soweto.
It's going to be Joburg. Yeah.
Wait. Anywhere they go to, Joburg, Durban, Pretoria, Cape Town, Soweto, we'll dismantle them. Because the truth of the matter is South Africa beating us at home is an abnormality. It's something that is unheard of.
Did they beat us?
Yes, they beat us in New York.
No, some of us have erased it from our mind.
Okay,
we erased it.
Sorry.
And I'm sure Abdulrahman has done so too. Abdulrahman, over to you.
We try to erase it, the records will still be there. The South Africans beat us in Uyo, and mark you, that is the second time they are doing that in Uyo. So we've got a score to settle with them. We are not their peers as far as this round leather game is concerned. We just need to go there, get our acts together. They know we can beat them, so we should go and do it. But I brought up Agbede has supported me. The extra danger that is coming there is that Ndidi is going to be out of that game, haven't gotten a second yellow card. So we got to be prepared. The technical crew needs to be sure that we have a stable midfield, a midfield that can hold on to the ball. Onazi and maybe Joel Obi and the likes, I'm not sure Joel Obi has been in the mix of it, but Onazi and co, they need to tidy up. But beat South Africa, we must go and do. And at the very worst, we pick a point, come and finish off with Seychelles. I think this time around, we're not going to be out of the AFCON.
Welcome back. Over to you.
Well, we don't have to win the match in South Africa. We will qualify for the competition, and then we'll have enough time to be able to get our act together and do well in that competition. Having said that, I would, by permission of the Speaker, move a motion for adjournment, and I hereby move that motion according to those terms.
All those in favor of moving until next week Thursday, same time, same station, say aye.
Aye.
All those against, say nay.
Nay.
You are crazy. The ayes have it. Bye-bye.